Well, it's time to fire up the kettle. And on this kettle, we're going to barbecue some quail on this Thanksgiving Day. So we'll get this chimney started. And once they're ready, we'll place the briquettes on one side of the kettle. And we're going to do an indirect. We're going to sear them first and then do an indirect and kind of take it from there. Now these quail are from what I raise here. They're Coturnix Quail. And these are the males that I've culled out to put in the freezer and to eat later. Hey, these taste really good. Now I marinated these overnight in teriyaki sauce and soy sauce, pepper, and garlic. Now the first two have their skin on. I plucked the feathers out of these on the first two, but the others I skinned. I like it with the skin on. To me, they give it a better flavor, and they're juicier. We'll get them all out of this marinade, pat them dry or pat them down, get most of the moisture off of them, and then we're going to season them with some rub. Now, I used bone-sucking sauce on this for the seasoning. I really didn't have anything else that I wanted to put on it, and we tried that. And hey, they turned out great. It had a kind of a sweet taste from the teriyaki, which gave them a fantastic flavor. And we basically did a spatchcock on them. It makes it easier for grilling and seasoning. And also, you got to watch out because you don't want to burn the legs. They're so small, and a lot of people take the wings off. You'll see in the video what I mean a little later on. And we'll dust it with that bone-sucking sauce rub. Just kind of sprinkle it over it, and we'll turn them over and sprinkle the other side. Now, it's a little more work to pluck the feathers out than it is to skin them, but I prefer leaving the skin on. Now we'll speed up just a bit. Well, I believe they're ready to go on the kettle. Let's go out and see if we can make sure the kettle is ready. Now we'll spread out the coals. They're ready to go. Sorry for the shadow. I have a hard time in this area with the lighting. Okay, first we're gonna sear these a bit. Not very long. We'll just kind of go back and forth with it, more than likely. And once we set them on to be seared, turn them a little bit, we're gonna move them to indirect heat. Well, it looks like I almost forgot to put my pan in. I like to keep a pan on the side that I lay the meat on to catch the drippings. Of course, we're not going to catch it there over the flame like it is, but when we move these to indirect, add a little water to it. I always like to add a little bit of water. If I don't put out the fire, we'll be all right. And we'll check them, give them a turn over here a little bit, and let them sear just a little bit more. And then we'll move them over to the indirect side. As I said, you got to keep a close eye on them and don't let them burn too much, because the little legs there at the end, they will crisp up pretty much. Oh, these are going to be fantastic. I think these are about ready to put over indirect. I think we'll just do that right now. Get them over on this side, and everything ought to be coming out looking good. Well, that looks good. You gotta get them just perfect, you know. Okay, now move that one over just a little more. Now we'll get the lid on it. Well, it's time to check them. Hey, that wind is blowing out here today. Not real bad, but enough to make it a little bit aggravating. And we'll move them around a bit. Boy, they're looking delicious. They are really looking good. Put the lid on and we'll be back in a second. Well, now all I can say, those look mighty larrapin'. Delicious. Tell you what, and they're going to taste good too. I'm going to check the internal temperature to at least 165, and it was a little above 165. They are ready to come off of there. These are ready. They look fantastic. We'll put them on our pan, get them ready to take in the house, and, well, it never fails to lose some video. I took some shots of a better placing of the quail to get a better look. I guess I lost it. So these two had their skin on, and these were skinned. I like the ones with the skin on better, as I mentioned before. Well, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing.